Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sons of Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash from the Great Millstone Miami / Broward camps. Double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sons of Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. Just coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, willingness edifying. And in this lesson, I want to highlight the differences, contrast the differences between having a high libido versus having a lust demon or a lustful spirit on you, which I believe is something that should be talked about. This is a conversation that should be had amongst brethren, because I believe these two things can be conflated or confused with one another, especially with young men that a lot of us are, coming from this world that is filled with lust, as the scriptures say. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but of the world. This world runs on lust, which is why you can't see an advertisement without cleavage in it. The music is filled with lust. The movies, of course, Hollywood is filled with lust. Shit, you come down here to Miami, man, it's all about lust. And we know lust is not just dealing with sexual lust, but it could be lust over food, money, status. But in this case, I'm speaking about sexual lust. And I want to make this quick because I don't have much battery life. But let me just get into it. Having a high libido and a lustful spirit are entirely different, though they often overlap, right? Which is why the conversation needs to be had, because sometimes brothers can have a lust demon on them and think that they just have a high libido, which is not the case. And lust is extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. We must flee from lust. It's not cool, it's not cute. It doesn't make you strong, it makes you weak. And it has destroyed many and will destroy many. A high libido is a physical and biological state indicating a strong, healthy sex drive. Right, having a high libido is a good thing. It's something the Most High has blessed us with the potential to have. But keyword is healthy. Alright, if you're overweight, if you're fat, you're not disciplined, you're not in shape, you drink a lot, your diet is not on point, you cannot have a high libido. A high libido comes from being healthy. Okay? If you don't have morning wood, you're not healthy. Not saying it's going to happen every morning, but you should be experiencing morning wood. That's a sign of health. Which, again, we all know the story with King David. When he was on his deathbed, how did they know he was about to die? his libido started to fail. Okay? But again, if you're not healthy, you cannot have a high libido. So if you know you're not healthy, then and if you are constantly thinking about women and sex and trying to have sex, that's not coming from having a high libido. Okay? Whereas a lustful spirit is a state of the mind and heart defined by self-serving fixation, objectification, and a lack of self-control. Right, it's a demon. Okay? Key differences at a glance. Root cause: biological, hormones, genetics, and physical vitality is the cause of a high libido. A high libido is a byproduct of being healthy. And that doesn't mean you are trying to smash everything you see. It's just that you know if the Lord were to put you in a situation, if the Lord were to throw you a bone, you would be able to perform. It doesn't mean that you have to act on it. You may see a beautiful woman and you know you could do your thing with her. Doesn't mean that you're going to act on it or you're going to try to act on it. Okay? Lustful spirit, the root cause is spiritual, mental. The choice to dwell on and feed obsessive thoughts. Focus of a high libido connection, a natural desire for intimacy, physical release, and emotional bonding. Okay? Versus a lustful spirit, it says consumption, viewing people as objects for self-gratification rather than valuing them as whole individuals. Okay? And I'm not saying that brothers can't deal with harlots, right? Because when you're dealing with a harlot, there should be no emotional component to it. You're just getting your rocks off. Okay? But a lot of times men with a lustful spirit want to build an emotional connection with the harlot. Okay? A lot of times somebody with a lustful spirit, they'll try to deal with a harlot and they can get an erection. Or you try to deal with her and it's over in 2 seconds. And then you're supposed to get post-nut clarity and the clarity won't even kick in. Okay? And everything that I speak on is from experience. This is not from a place of judgment. I only talk what I know. But sex is spiritual. It's spiritual before it's physical, and sex is an energy exchange. You shouldn't be trying to have sex with any woman. You should have a standard. Not saying that you have to be all lovey-dovey and emotional about it like a woman, but you understand that when you're dealing with a woman, you're getting very close and personal, intimate. So you should be careful about who you do that with. These women are demons out here. So you have to choose wisely. You should value yourself as a man, as a hopeful elect man. So you shouldn't be trying to give your rod to anyone. Especially dropping seed in any old woman. Okay, control. of libido is managed, you see, governed by context, consent, and respect, meaning you can control it. When it comes to a lust demon, it's insatiable, driven by craving, often leading to guilt, shame, or compulsive behaviors, right? That post-nut clarity comes, and you're like, why am I dealing with this chick? Why am I even here? Like, those feelings start coming back because that demon is gone. That demon jump off you once you release. Then you have that moment of lucidity. And you feel that shame and guilt. But again, sometimes that demon can be so on you that you don't even get clarity afterwards. You don't even feel shame anymore. That's when you know it's bad. And again, a big this is alcohol, which we know alcohol is called spirits for a reason. That's what they call beer goggles. A lot of the time, men won't even look twice at a woman if they're sober, but if they have that alcohol in their system, they'll deal with her. They'll lay up with her because that shame is gone. Because the lust demon and the alcohol demon go hand in hand. Okay, physical versus intentional. It says understanding the divide. High libido is simply a measure of how often your body is in the mood. Lust, however, is a conscious or habitual direction of the mind, meaning it's you always thinking about it. You always thinking about cheeks. You can't control yourself. It is the inward choice to covet or obsessively fixate rather than allowing a natural passing through thoughts to dissipate. Meaning you don't rebuke them demons. You don't rebuke them thoughts. You don't control your mind. You don't rule your spirit. You just let the thoughts fester. That could lead to committing adultery. Right? Giving versus taking. Experts and spiritual leaders often summarize the difference through orientation. Healthy sexual desire yearns for mutual connection. Right? Meaning, again, not just with anybody. Shared intimacy and giving to a partner. Lust is inherently selfish. It is motivated by the desire to take. I mean, it's just flesh. You're just motivated by the flesh. You're not walking in the spirit. Vitality versus compulsion is the key point. A strong sex drive is a neutral, healthy biological impulse. Again, when you're healthy, you're going to have morning erections. Your testosterone is high. Alcohol, bad diet, being overweight lowers your testosterone. So how is that a high libido? No, you just have a sex demon. You may have a succubus trying to draw all your energy. Okay? So I got a little bit of juice left, so I'm going to make this quick. Colossians chapter 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Okay, that's going into lust. You're supposed to kill that. 3 John 1 and 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. Meaning we're supposed to be spiritually healthy and physically healthy. It goes hand in hand, which the is going to have a high libido come from that. Okay, 2 Peter 1 and 4. whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. Right, lust corrupts. This world is corrupted through lust. It's all about lust. And the point of lust is to destroy you. It's a trick. And then that's what these women have on them, the spirit of the lust. They just want to drain your soul and pull you away from the Most High and destroy you. And we have to be mindful of that. We got to be able to peep that out. Okay, Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary to one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. You see that? So lust stops you from being in the spirit. And it may not seem like that at first, and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to creep up on you and slowly drain you of your vitality. Okay? So that's pretty much it, man. This is something that we have to focus on and be aware of, and be able to examine ourselves. Okay? So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, and to the next one, Shalom.